life in the vice, CPS tight, fighting through the nights, through the pain and the plight. Lost in the system, kids taken away, but he ain't giving up, fighting day by day. Courtroom's cold, but his heart fire bold. Every document, evidence, stories untold. Digging deep, unearthing all the mess. Knows he's getting closer, there's no time to rest. CPS won't break this man, fighting each day, got a bigger plan. Reclaiming his kids, dreams in his hand, battling for others strong like a brick wall stand. Every setback a setup for a comeback. Vinny stacking facts, ready for the attack. Discovering truths buried deep in the lies. Eyes on the prize, freedom in his eyes. Community's voice rising up, getting loud. Vinny leading the charge, making his folks proud. Taking down giants, carrying the fight. The light at the end now blindingly bright. For his kids, for his life, for the broken and lost. Vinny's resilient, no matter the cost. Breaking free from chains, reclaiming his dream. CPS trembling when Vinny hit the scene.
In a small Maine town, under the sky so clear, a man named Vinny fights, driven by the fear. The CPS is corrupt, breaking hearts in cold. He stands with the people, brave and bold. With the Constitution held high in his hand, he walks the streets a one-man band. No more kicks for cash, no more silent cries. In Vinny's eyes, the truth never dies. We're fighting for justice, standing tall. Vinny's voice echoes, answering the call. Through our podcast, we light up the night, freeing our kids, bringing truth to light. Families torn apart in the dead of night. Vinny's on the front line, ready for the fight. He records the stories, each tear and word, amplifying voices, making sure they're heard. Families torn apart in the dead of night. Vinny's on the front line, ready for the fight. He records the stories, each tear and word, amplifying voices, making sure they're heard. Oh, we're fighting for justice, standing tall. Vinny's voice echoes, answering the call. Through our podcast, we light up the night.
In the heart of our great nation, where the strength of our communities is built upon the foundation of strong and loving families, an urgent crisis is unfolding. Child Protective Services, CPS, an institution designed to safeguard our most vulnerable, has in many cases betrayed its noble mission. Too often, families are torn apart not by neglect or abuse, but by systemic failures and corruption. We can no longer stand idly by as these injustices continue. We are here to give a voice to those who have been isolated, to shine a light on the corruption, and to rally our fellow citizens in this critical fight for justice. Every day, countless families are caught in a web of bureaucracy and abuse of power, their lives disrupted and their bonds shattered. Children, who should be nurtured and protected, are instead placed in situations that can be just as, if not more, harmful than the circumstances from which they were taken. Parents, often bewildered and powerless, face insurmountable odds as they fight to reunite with their children. This is not the America we believe in. We cannot allow these injustices to persist. Our mission is to educate, to inform, and to inspire action. We promise to bring you daily updates on CPS, exposing the truth and fighting for reform. We must remember that the future of our nation depends on the strength and unity of our families. By standing together, we can hold CPS accountable and ensure that it fulfills its true purpose, protecting children and preserving families. This is a fight we must not and will not lose. We are committed to saving our families and securing a brighter future for all. The road ahead is challenging, but with your support, we can make a difference. Together, we will bring hope to those who have lost it and ensure that justice prevails. Let us unite with unwavering resolve and a sense of patriotic duty to safeguard the integrity of our families and the future of our nation.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPUFist.com is leading the way. Join us.
It is Saturday. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to throw the chat box back up right there. There we go. Got that going. Facts over lies. How are you doing, Jonathan? Good to see you. It is Saturday night. It's 7 o'clock, and you all know it's Vinny time. So we're going to get started. There's been a lot of things coming out. A lot of factual things that I have found. I've been diving down a lot of rabbit holes lately. I want to read over some things that we found, and I'm going to start discussing some things that Tiffany put together for us. And I just want to start reading some of it because I need you guys to understand what is really going on. And how much these people have lied to us, these CPS workers, these cops, all of this. So I'm going to start with, we'll go to the tippy top of this. And I want to read to you guys some things that Tiffany just shared with us today. And this is some valuable information that I wish we had a lot sooner. But this is case law. And it is 154 case law you will need. A public post discovered from a FBI meta group related to CPS, DCFS, CNY, CNYS, or whatever they want to change their name to, covered their shit. Okay. And this is 154 case law you need. Um, so, with that said, coercion can be mental as well as physical. Blackburn versus Alabama, 361 U.S. 199 206 1960. If neglect status conflicts with the Fourth Amendment, they must be deemed invalid. The state register registers no gain towards its declared goals when it separates children from the custody of fit parents. Stanley versus Illinois, 405 U.S. 645 652 1972. Okay. A show a showing of harm to the child as a requisite for coercive statements intervention statutes incorporated drug use forced on parents' behavior and thus subvert themselves by preserving preference to parental misconduct as factors to consider in neglect determination. Statutory law undermines the express requirement that harms to the child being a sine qua non of interventions. The result of this is, in such cases, often begins to resemble criminal proceedings against parents. Dolgan Supra note 62 at 1227. Um, let's go on. The assumption that drug use constitutes neglect inappropriately shifted the focus from the welfare of the child to the behavior of the parent. The parenting, not the supposed quality of the individual who is parenting, should be at issue. See Dolgan Supra Note 62 at 1213 and 1235 36. Wald Supernote 304 and 1034. Okay. A trial court cannot terminate parental rights absent this finding of unfitness. Parental definitions alone do not render a parent currently unfit. The proper inquiry in whether the existing parental whatever conditions prevent the parent from providing for the child's basic health, welfare, and safety. Okay. In a parental rights to KMM 186 WN 2D 466 493 379 P.3.75 2016. Hi, Luis. Louis, how are you? Um, the court explained, absent some tangible evidence of abuse or neglect, the court do not authorize fishing expeditions into citizens' house. Mere parroting of phrase best interest of the child without supporting facts. And a legal basis is insufficient to support a court order based on reasonableness or any other grounds. North Hudson DYFS versus Kohler Family 2001. Wow, guys. So DHS is not supposed to interfere in our fucking lives. And they've been getting away with this for eons, since 97, maybe earlier. They've been interfering in parental rights that they have no fucking clue or should not be entering in. And I'm going to tell you all right now, you all need to stand, fight, reach out. If you need this information, we have it. Tiffany has it. I have it. The group has it. We all have it. I will not stand by and watch these pedophiles, CPS, ruin families' lives on my watch. No, sir. Baby, you'll have to email me. I I will put my email in this chat. Whoever wants that information, I am willing, more than willing to send it to you. Um, because I think you all should have it. So there's my email. Send me an email and I will get that information out to you. Um, but there's more to this. It says defendants could not lawfully seize child without a warrant or extensive or probable cause of believing child was in imminent danger of harm, where the police were not informed of any abuse of the child prior to arriving at caretaker's home and found no evidence of abuse while there. Seizure of the child was not objectively reasonable and it violated the clearly established Fourth Amendment right of the child. Woolley versus City of Baton Rouge, Fifth Circuit, 2000. Miller recognized the fundamental liberty interest by parents in the care, custody, and management of their children, and an interest which must be balanced against the state's interest in protecting children suspected of being abused. 174 F3D at 373, 374, citing Croft and Satucci versus Kramer, 455 U.S. 745 753 102 SCT 1388 71 L.ED.2D 599 1982. Wow. Another big one. This is information that CPS did not want us to have previous to because they knew they were violating our fucking constitutional rights and getting away with it. But now, with Trump in office, that's a big different story because the power was turned to we the people. And there is major proof that the Constitution was restored to 1776 by our president. And for you that think that President Trump is not for us, you're fucking wrong. That man is fighting for parents. He is fighting for families. He is fighting for every one of us U.S. citizens. He even made it so he could charge those in Congress in Washington. It's no longer Washington, D.C. It is now Washington. It is officially the Republic. So all of you that are out there doubting Mr. Trump, you better start becoming more of a Trump fan because this man is making sure by everything that he's put in his executive orders that the parents, the children, and the U.S. citizens come first. So all to you Democrat and liberals out there, stow it. I don't want to hear it. I am a Trump fan. That's exactly right, baby. That's exactly right. They have foster homes, good foster homes, and orphanages like back in the day that would be happy to have a child that can't have one. There is mothers out there And there is fathers out there that are really good parents that do not have children, that cannot have children, and they're looking for good children they can adopt. Good children. Not abused, not neglected, not someone that they can throw around and traffic. There's actually decent people out there that want children that can't have them. But let's go on. To act under color of law means the social worker acted beyond the bounds of their lawful authority, but in such a manner that is unlawful acts were done, while the official was purporting or pretending to act in the performance of their official duties. In other words, the unlawful acts must consist of abuse of misuse of power, which is processed by the officials only because they are an official. The social worker committed a misuse of power possessed by virtue of the state law and made possible only because the wrongdoer in clothing with the authority of the state law is act taken under color of law. So yes, we can sue them under color of law. Start filing, people. Start filing your suit under color of law. It's time to take these fucks down, these pedophiles, these schools that are teaching our children it is okay to be gay, lesbian, male, female. It's time to take down these wokeness as United States citizens. We have the power. We, the people. Right, right, Lewis. Right, and Darren's been fighting for a while, and that man deserves to have his child, just like I do. My kids should be home where they fucking belong, not in this piece of shit pedophile state custody, because they're all pedophiles. The whole Democratic Party is pedophiles. They have preyed on our children. Yes, Darren, I'm raising my voice loud, buddy. Darren's here. He's in the back room. He just popped in, guys. So let's go on with that. Okay.
I didn't even hear you. What are you complaining about today?
Oh, I'm reading what Tiffany dropped in the chat today. The laws that they hid from us.
Oh, I haven't even heard this. This is my first.
You need to read all this, Darren.
What does it say, my friend?
Basically, the state is not allowed to violate your Fourth Amendment rights at all.
Okay.
And that we can sue them under color of law because they're acting under color of law. An unreasonable belief of imminent harm to a child will render a seizure unreasonable. Wallace versus Spencer, 202 F3D 1126 1140 9th Circuit in 2000. Rights to procedural due process violated. The state denied the plaintiff the fundamental right to a fair procedure before having their child removed by the eternal use of fraudulent evidence during a procedure. Morris v. Dearborn, 5th Circuit, 1999.
So they're saying that there's no trial before they remove your kid, so that makes
Right.
it rendered illegal?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
That's case law?
This is all case law.
Yeah.
I'm
What else
surprised you. Oh, they got tons in here. Tons. Let's see. Let me scroll down right here. The court held that where abusive government action by a member of the executive branch is alleged, only the most egregious official conduct 522 star 522 can be said to be arbitrary in the Constitution sense. ID at 375, quoting Country of Scarmento versus Lewis, 523 U.S. 833, 846, 118, sections 1708, 140, LED 2, 143, 1998. State employees who withhold a child from their families may infringe on the family's liberty of familiar association. Social workers could not deliberately remove children from their parents and place them with foster caregivers when the official reasonable should have known such an action would cause harm to the child's mental and physical health. KH through Murphy versus Morgan, 7th Circuit, 1990.
So caseworkers aren't allowed to remove your kid unless they know that, knowing that it's going to cause harm to them. Meaning that if they're not getting harmed in the house already, then don't freaking put them in a place that's going to cause them more harm.
Right.
Yeah. All this is good, but how do we make a difference?
Now it's time to fight fire with fire. Now it's time to attack them and put their actual things that they have avoided for years.
How, Vinny? How do we do this?
I don't know. That's the big mystery, my friend. That is the big mystery.
What is the action steps that we can take, even though we have all this information that tells us? Do I sound like Donald Trump? Is it my regular voice?
Yeah, you're good. Your regular voice.
Does it? How do we take all this information that we have and then use this so that they stop doing this, or we use this for our own patriotic liberties so that they can't take these kids from us anymore? How do we apply this stuff? How do we use it? And how do we make this stop? That's the question.
Yep.
Because we have all this case law. We have all of this stuff that shows they can't do what they're doing, but they're doing it. So what do we do?
I don't know. I just sent you the case law on Messenger. But I think we really need to get a hold of our president and fully divulge what really is going on.
I mean, do you think that they really don't know? Of course they know.
Of course they know. I mean, Elon Musk is still digging through Title D.
Title 4?
Yeah, 4D. Yeah, child support.
He hasn't even come to this section yet.
No, he hasn't even come to Title 4E.
So the question is, what are they going to do, though? What are they going to do about the thousands and thousands of kids that have been wrongfully taken and out of their homes and ruined their parents' lives? What are they going to do then?
Yeah, like Lewis said, don't use the court. I mean, what are they going to do? Get us for taking our kids back?
Right. That's it.
They can't, because they kidnapped our children.
Hey, Lewis, here's the question for you. If you're not going to use the court, how are you going to do it, buddy? I don't know if that's Susie or Louie, but one of the two. That's my cousin right there. Her cousin is the one that has my daughter. Her sister is the one that has my daughter.
So Lewis, that means that you have to talk to your sister.
No, they don't talk. They haven't talked in 20 years.
Because everything they've done to every single one of us is unlawful.
And I think that you should be able to make the foster families also held liable for this shit.
Oh, I agree. Oh, look at that. We even got a Mr. Gunner joining us. Shit, it's getting deep today. Gunner, let yourself in, buddy.
Well, who are we going to piss off today?
Oh, we're going to piss a lot of people the fuck off. That's for sure.
Lewis, what do you mean by the registry of deeds? You're talking about making a what's the word I'm looking for? What the hell do they call it? A trust. Is that what you're talking about? Putting everything in a trust? Is that why you're saying registry of deeds?
I think that's what he's getting at. Which, you know,
But you shouldn't have to.
it's natural law. It should be legal law to not take our children. It is. And they blatantly state it.
Wow. I mean, they've had all the opportunities in the world.
Yep.
And all they're doing is causing harm to these kids and to these people.
I think that's why, you know, Richard has been very, very quiet with me, because he knows that I've been doing my research. I've been doing my goddamn homework.
You do your homework, but I think Richard's at the same spot that we're all at, Vinny. What do you do about it? There's nothing to do. What do you do about something that's completely illegal in the first place, that you have all this evidence that you've had and all of this stuff, and they're not playing by the same game? Like, so there's no game to play.
Nope.
This, you know what? It's no different than trying to go after a drug dealer or a guy that, you know, like a mafia guy or whatever. There's no rules established already. So how do you go against somebody that there's no rules against?
Right. And they're using the police for their fucking corruption.
Their protection.
Yep.
Can I just put something out there? There's a reason the United States Marine Corps says, if you ever find yourself in a fair fight, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, that's true.
So guess what? You got to flip the script, do what you got to do, but do it the right way and catch them on the flip side.
Yeah. Well, we'll end up in jail and then be locked away so you'll never be heard of. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Or they beat the shit out of you like they did to our buddy Bane. And now he's in hiding.
Listen, guys, they know a lot of this shit's going down. They know, listen, what is the first thing that all the rats do before the ship goes down? Come on.
They scatter.
Yeah.
They scatter.
I mean, they scatter. They blame each other. They'll step all over each other just to get out of the way, to get to higher ground. Kill each other, chew each other, bite each other. They don't give a shit to the last rats on top. And that's exactly what it comes down to. And this is going to be a blame game. When all this goes down, it's going to be pointing fingers. It's going to be, it was CPS's fault. It was the judge's fault. It was the ineffective counsel of the attorneys that were there. Congratulations, they've got all of it. Not saying all attorneys out there are bad. There's some out there that realize something's wrong with the system, but they're once again perplexed because I'm doing everything the way they say do. And that's the whole point. It's stacked against you. They get what they want. They're not following the Constitution. That's why Trump called them out. The thing is how do you get it on record or proof to the fact that they're actually doing this and where to look? And a lot of that is having a case so far, like I said, either or something coming out to where they put the pieces together, which a lot of people are doing little things here and there all over the place. You're seeing movement. But they're talking more about reform and doing this and doing that. In other words, our viewpoint is this system is not repairable. It needs to be abolished and taken away from and stay the fuck out of our homes, because the very existence of CPS is, one, it's unnecessary. Two, it's unconstitutional. Why? Because it's interfering with the duties of a duly elected sheriff and their deputies. Once again, child abuse and child neglect are criminal acts. So it's one of those things that you have to turn around and say, that's a criminal act. Then why am I in criminal court and why am I in civil court? Because it's not about the money, because then you have to meet the higher method in criminal court as well. The threshold's different. And isn't that the most fucked up?
Much higher.
You hear too? Oh, much higher. Why is the bar for our fucking children and our families so fucking low?
It ain't no more.
There's my other question.
This now has to be 99%.
There's a lot. Like I said, I mean, but the thing is, Vinny, like you know and I know, there's judges out there that even if the states pass things, case law, their own case law in Supreme Court, that if there's nothing more than say the forensic interview or this and that, and there's no viable hard evidence, that they're supposed to dismiss the case. And judges are not even doing that. They say, well, I feel this case is unique and special. I'm just going to do this, not even follow case law.
Do you know how many cases? Do you know how many cases? And this is where I don't ever talk about my case, but I'm going to talk about my case. Mine didn't even involve my daughter. Nothing that happened in my case even had a thing to do with my daughter. I was accused of armed robbery. That's what I was accused of. And that's what brought CPS into my life. That had nothing to do with my daughter. It had not a damn thing to do with my home life. It wasn't at home. I brought nothing home, and nothing ever even happened. The cases were dismissed, yet they still took my daughter. So what do you do about that? The state drops all my charges. I walk away with nothing. Nothing ever happened because it was a falsity at the stakes anyway. The state takes my kids because of it, takes my daughter because of it, and now here I am without a kid, with no charges, with no nothing, and that's it. So what do you do about that?
Well, once again, we're finding out some things with.
And that's where determining your parental rights, you're supposed to have clear and convincing evidence, which is an asked here below beyond reasonable doubt.
Exactly. And why is the method? Once the other thing is, it's not for judges to determine. You're supposed to have a jury of your peers. 100%. It's not for a judge to say, we feel you've done this. And that's what this is about. Feelings. It's feelings court. It's kangaroo court. It's how everybody feels, and how bad. And here's how they do the psychological warfare with it: is they paint the picture of you being such a bad fucking person with no evidence, and you're like, with what? You're accusing of this, and you've got, but what do you have? Nothing. That's where they kind of caught, and I'll talk about mine. That where we got caught up of saying, how are you going to come after me when you have nothing? Nothing. Yeah. I mean, other than this thing. And then they keep going. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? And then you come to find out, they're coaching children before they do these forensic interviews, especially in my area. And you want to challenge that and take me to fucking court? Please do. Provide the motherfucking video evidence you delete every 15 days that you're required by federal government for you to get federal fucking money that you don't fucking do. Because I've even got the fucking proof you fucking do it and admit to it. Even the fact that shitty cameras. These are our fucking children, man. You talk about protecting children, but you guys don't have the proper documentation, top of the line video equipment, everything else with microphones and camera angles and making sure it all picks up. Why? Because it's used collectively, technically, as possibly evidence. But it also protects the people working there, but it also protects the parents.
And then you take them and you put them into harm's way.
Yep.
Exactly. All by saying, if you don't do this, I'm going to take your kid. This CPS worker saying, I'll just get a judge to remove your kids, or I'll have your kids removed. What's every mother fucking freak out and do? They fucking obey to protect their kids. Their motherly instinct comes in. That's why they go after the fucking women the most. They're the most vulnerable. Why? Threaten to take her fucking kids. She'll do anything in the world. She'll sell her body, give her life. Most of them.
Which is funny because it falls under the Fifth Amendment on that one. The Fourth, Fifth, and the 14th Amendment.
They shouldn't even exist. You wanted to empower this, you should have done it through education and just bumped up your education of your sheriff's deputies with a special department, which a lot of them have, which is called a special victims unit. Therefore, sexual crimes and heinous fucking crimes. They exist. They train specifically for it. They can share information. But all of a sudden, the proper departments had some of these things, and they ripped it away and took their funding to cut the budget for the officers. We'll just have state employees. When are you supposed to have somebody interfere with the duties of somebody you've elected to do something that the state has the ability to give up your rights or anything? They haven't. It's an act of treason and sedition. Bottom line. And that's what we've been living over. What we're changing back to is they're going back to the original Constitution, the original supremacy clause of the Constitution, and saying anything that doesn't agree with this or anything else is null and void. You can't overwrite this. It takes an act of Congress. You can't do it in hiding. And when you're caught, you're fucked. And that's what we're going through. The sifting of all the bullshit that has been unconstitutional. That includes treaties, all of them. There's a lot more going on than most people realize. And I know some people, you may have heard of the two constitutions method. You guys heard about that?
What's that?
So should we read them the royal decree that we found?
Well, that's, you don't put the cart before the horse. The point of this is when we were done with the Civil War, we were broke. We were a broke nation. We received money on both sides, the North and the South. They're going to bullshit you. It was about fucking slavery. It had nothing to do with
the Industrial Revolution is what that was all about.
Industrial Revolution. They were the ones growing crops and everything else to send to the people during the winter months because they didn't have all this modern shit. They would starve to death because they can't grow nothing when it's snowing like a motherfucker. Or you can, or this. That's how grocery stores came into being. You follow me? They took the stuff from down south and traveled it up as much as they can, and they sold it. They sold the farms. Well, it was over taxation. The same thing we fought over. The South was given overtax for their shit, but they're like, wait a minute, you motherfuckers, we're giving you food. We're your food supply line. Have you lost your damn mind? We're your food.
North had all these beautiful shiny machines up there that they wanted extra amount of dollars to do this stuff for, and the South could still send it over to England and still get it cheaper. So the North said, whoa, 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 we're not doing this. We have all of this stuff up here that we've created and we've built, and we have all this awesome stuff, but we have no product to use with it. And they said, we can't do this. We got to go down there and we're going to steal their stuff so that we have the stuff to do this with. And here goes the South saying, no, you're not coming down here to steal our hardworking crops and our shit. And that's why the war started. Slaves weren't even a thing of the war until they started losing so badly that they had to enact these black people to get involved in the Civil War. They had nothing to do with it. And honestly, the slaves that were involved in the Civil War were just as pissed off at the North for coming down there and stealing their crops.
And there's the misnomer, is the fact that in the South, over 90%, I think was the last projected number of the people that were considered slaves were free. Look at places like Asheville, North Carolina, and other places that had large plantations.
They were all part of this crop sharing from these.
Yeah, they lived on them. They educated them. They gave them a place for religion. They gave them, good place to shelter and everything else. They were well taken care of. I mean,
just like everything else, there's a couple bad seeds. Just like everything else, there's a couple bad actors, but that doesn't mean that everybody was treated that way. That's why the blacks were involved in the war. They could have ran. If they were fighting for the South back then, they could have ran in a moment's notice. Did they run? No. They went right to the front battle lines.
And you hear all that bullshit, but you go to the southern states, you're going to hear the Southern's point of view, and then you realize that's a bunch of fucked up shit because it's true. And all of it goes through. Now, the South got help from the French. Well, the United States would start to say, well, the U.S. is like, the United Kingdom over there, England was over there like, hey, we got some fucking money. We're going broke. And even England went fucking broke. Well, who bailed them out? The rich bankers. Black,
And isn't it funny that all these people that just got done less than 100 years fighting the British to get them out of here, they go running to Britain for help. There's your bar. There's your there's your king's promises. That's all your stuff right there.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, this goes on. So when that happened, it formed another constitution that had to rewrite. Why? Because they had to have a commodity. It's just one of those things. So the commodity we had was labor, was people, hence the Social Security Fund. You know what I'm saying? So all of that goes in together where now you're looking at that. Now the states took away property rights. Why? You pay property taxes, don't you? You don't have an allodial title. saying true ownership, because if you own something, why are you taxed on it?
Yep.
And here's the other scam that goes out that they don't want you to know. Why are you paying property taxes on a house you own that you only paid so much for? And then they keep raising your prices. I'm not selling. You're charging me or trying to make a profit off of the sale. And then when you get the sale, you'll bump that amount up. And that person does that. And it's a fucking graph. It's a fucking scam for property taxes. Oh, well, it pays for this. It pays for that. I don't need these programs. What happens? We don't need these programs. You don't need my property taxes. I don't want your public schools. I may use your public roads. Well, then you need to give me a discount or something. Hey, I'll help pitch on the roads. What do I have to come up with every year? Those type of things. But then half the people wouldn't pay that. Why? Because your fucking roads suck.
Yep.
Public utilities. They're public utilities, but it's supposed to be privatized. Government is not supposed to be involved. You realize there's a fucking law against fucking corporations being involved in government? It's illegal.
Yep.
It's unconstitutional. I mean, once we get that through our head, half of this stuff is not supposed to be, well, then make it a private company. They don't want that. Why? They want the control. They want all that money lump summed in one area for your mayor to spend. And this person, we want control over how you spend your money. That's exactly what it comes down to for spending. I don't agree with that. Why should I have to pay for it?
Yep, that's it.
Chris, check your Facebook. I sent you something.
Vinny's gift.
That's right. I'm getting this out there to everyone involved with CPS.
Listen, and we're going through a lot of changes. So what Trump's administration is doing is going back to the supremacy clause of the original Constitution. A lot of people say 1776, but that's when the last signature done it. Actually, it gone on for a couple years because everybody didn't have, click and point and auto sign. You had to travel distances to do this stuff and back and forth with your people, and then they all agreed to it. But it didn't get all sat like some people say, oh, well, they signed it all at one time. No, that's not true. Go look up your history. They signed it a little bit at a time, the Constitution, as well as the Declaration of Independence. There were some signatures that weren't done or people that weren't present because they couldn't make it because of the long travel and because of the secrecy as well. But that Constitution was meant to ward off all this shit and not let businesses, religion, or anything else get in the way of we the people and our God-given rights that every other country has gone through thus far, and now we're going through enslavement of one sort of or another, not being truly free. And if you say that you're truly free in your country, let's see your guns then. That's all I'm about to say, because, God made all men, but Samuel Coleman made all men equal.
Hi, Miss Aaron.
Hello. So, guys, we've got all of this going on that people don't realize, and that's what he's bringing us back to, of filtering through, saying this is not constitutional. What you're doing over here doesn't. Those are powers you don't have. And there's under no circumstance was Congress ever to surrender its power over to these executive, we'll say, groups like the ATF and the FBI. They're not supposed to make their own laws. That's things resolved strictly to Congress. And if Congress gave over that right to an executive branch of government, they were looking at totalitarianism. That means the executive branch of government was running everything. And that's what this president's trying to do, is not do that, is clean house and get it back and give it back to the people and saying, now we want your voices heard, but we've got to get to work together and purge all this shit. And there's a lot to clean up. And I know a lot of people turn around and say, well, what about me? What about me? Or this is my worst. My life, how this sows everything else, but you got to peel the onion a layer at a time, regardless of what it is. It will.
Yep. You got to skin the cat.
Yeah, there's more than one.
Whatever you want it to be.
So and guys, once that breaks, you're going to be surprised. I think a lot of people are going to wake up. They're going to realize what was happening to them because they're going to be forced to look at it. There's the other thing. And when the people wake up on both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat, and realize what's been going on to all of our children, as well as every race, every culture, every creed, if anything, it should bring Americans together to stop the trafficking of our children across the United States. And once that comes out, it's over. It's game over for all of them. Why? Because it opens the door to everything.
That's why he put at that football game over.
Yep. Listen, he's already in Social Security. They've already looked. Hey, can we have a way of dealing with Title IV? No, you're right. That takes an act of Congress to do 100%. But there is a power within the executive power that if a state is actively involved in a criminal activity, he has every right to terminate all federal funding. If you don't believe me, these two boys are from Maine. Why don't you ask them?
Oh, he'll be going after her, even though he made Mills bend the fucking knee.
It buckles because their whole, some states run nothing but on government programs. And that's the sad shape. They should have an export, a product, something that they can trade and intertrade with other states.
And Maine
Yeah, we
happens
got
to be,
blueberries and lobsters.
yeah, and we got potatoes because of the big potato fields up north. So we have
Is
that
the
too.
idea. And
Gunner, you keep cutting out. I don't know why, but
it just freezes every once in a while. It's one of those things we all, I guess, will take rotations. I guess it's my week to do it. Last week was Darren's. I mean, what the hell?
Yep.
I mean, they don't want us, man. We're on their radar. We give two shits. Go ahead. Why don't you fucking pick up a micro or a set of earphones and listen for a change, and maybe it'll get through your thick fucking skull. Shit's happening. I mean, you guys watching this, and you're watching it for the wrong reasons. You're watching it to trap somebody or this and that. Maybe you ought to fucking pay attention.
Oh,
they're not going to pay attention. That's the sad part. They think what they're doing is not corrupt. Well, it is. Sorry to tell you. You broke the law, and now you're going to get paid. You're going to get the dues that you got coming to you: treason, sedition, and execution. That's the way I feel. All them people should be executed.
Yeah, for putting up for just destroying our lives and destroying the lives of our children.
And driving us broke. They've been driving us broke for years. Making us think, oh, you don't got no money. You don't got this. You don't got that. Oh, but the truth
Because
comes
what's
out.
happening is unconstitutional.
Poor Gunner.
I know he has no idea he's frozen. He's just going off on a rant.
Yeah. Gunner, fix your internet, buddy. If you can hear us.
Here he comes.
Blacked out, guys. On my whole internet just blacked out. Even my daughter was in there and said, "Hey, your Wi-Fi is down, your internet's down." I'm like, "Of course, I'm in the middle of the fucking show. We're going to talk about some serious and some truth shit, and they just don't like that shit, man."
Oh yeah, Lewis. Same here. Darren's got my figures figured out, and it's quite extensive.
Yeah. You want to talk about the Fifth Amendment? Why don't we talk about how I used the Fifth Amendment in my court case, and the judge used her adverse inference to go over that and find me guilty on all charges using her adverse inference for me claiming the Fifth Amendment. That's wrong in itself.
Yep.
Or
you'll find
turn
that
around
out,
and
you'll
say
find that
that
out
you
when
claim
you
the
start
Fifth,
reading
and that they take in the judge forces you to get on the stand. You can answer it one at a time.
Just like an anonymous call into CPS or whatever the hell they call themselves is not admissible in court.
No. You are correct about that, Vinny.
But yet they're saying it is. No, it's not.
You have the right to face your accuser.
That's right.
So, and what's going on now is everybody's been made to be a reporter. What do they call them? Mandated reporters.
Yep. Yep.
And that's another problem.
But see, here's the thing. You know, why are you gonna turn on your friend, your neighbor, your brother, your sister? You know, we're supposed to be family. We're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be neighbors. Yes, if you see abuse, yes, you should report that to your local police or take it upon yourself to correct it.
Right. Handle it your own damn self.
Well, people don't
But
want
if
to get
you're not
involved with
seeing,
anything nowadays.
if you're not seeing abuse, stay the fuck out of our business. That's simple.
Yeah.
But yeah, with what we found out today and the rabbit holes that I've been digging down through and finding, and guys, big things are coming. Very, very fucking big, to the point of the bill has already hit the Congress about the money going out to all of us. And now with the amount that they have found in total is way higher, which means higher paychecks will be going out. And they are going to be coming out with those checks. It's been confirmed 3 times now.
And what size checks are they talking about now?
Up to $9,000.
Just peasant money.
Basically, yeah, but still 9,000. That's still a decent amount. You know what I could do with $9,000?
Not as much as you could do with 50 million.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be real. If I had that kind of money, yeah, I would build a fortress.
You won't need a fortress once we're done, Vinny. You still know better.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think so, because with the president we have, I don't care what anyone says. If it comes down to enacting Mr. Trump back into office again, I'm all for it. That man has definitely busted his ass with Elon and everyone else in his office, and they're doing an amazing, impeccable fucking job. And I support Trump and his administration. There is no denying that.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, we're almost at that time, anyways.
Yes, sir, we are.
You got any last words, Darren?
Pay attention, people. Just keep figuring out what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, because it's time for the action steps.
Can you put in there my new song? Are you got that available?
Which one is it?
The new one you made me.
Yeah, let's see here. I'll get it right now.
Guys, keep fighting. Don't give up. That's what I got to tell you. Big things are coming. Big changes are coming, and a lot of stuff is about to be revealed to you that you would not believe. So have faith.
Where the hell is Vinny's new song? Come on, we're going to get to Vinny's new tune here I made. Vinny's Day.
No, they're saying 9,000 targeted.
I'm the one who will bring the sting. For 2 long years you've kept my...
Start it over, Vinny. Here you go, guys. Vinny's new tune.
Today is the day the world will be given a brand new way to be unforgiven. They accuse me of heinous things. I'm the one who will bring the sting. For 2 long years you've kept my kids. No fucking visits, not even vids. With God in my corner and perseverance in my soul. I'm sorry if I come across a bit too bold. I am Vinny Torres. I'm here with the fight that you started. I prove to you all I never would fall. Now hear my demands. This is coming from a man who wants back his kids you kidnapped. Okay, law, actors and fake agents. Where we go? You forced my family apart and thought I'd turn away. You didn't do your homework on me, not in any way. My kids are my grounding, they're what I have that's pure. You took them from me, now the pain is yours for sure. My kids will come home, you all need to go babe jail. The cops that have erased me, locked them up with no bail. I'm talking the ones who had me assaulted. It didn't have to happen, but the Lion State Trooper wanted drama. So now she will see I'm Vinny T and I serve you 1983 because I wanna. I am Vinny Torres. I'm here with the fight that you started. I prove to you all I never would fall. Now hear my demands. This is coming from a man who wants back his kids you kidnapped. Okay, law, actors and fake agents. Here we go. Hey, don't look away, time that I can't replace. How can you stand your own damn face? You lied for a job while writing fake reports. I don't ever wanna see you in another court. You belong in a prison. Attorney General, I would listen. This GAL is so fucking crooked with her stories. She needs to be locked up before more families tell the same story. It's not right what she does. Even worse that you fucking listen. She must be doing something for you. The crime for that is motherfucking prison. Shall I say more or do I need to? The whole damn system has an ego. So now I put them in check with a noose on their neck. Treason is the worst, what else do you expect? I am Vinny Torres. I'm here with the fight that you started. I prove to you all I never would fall. Now hear my demands. This is coming from a man who wants back his kids you kidnapped. Okay, law, actors and fake agents. Here we go. Lastly for you, your honor, sir. Shut your mouth, I will hear no word you let. Today is a day the world will be given a brand new way to be unforgiven. They accuse me of heinous things. I'm the one who will bring the sting. For 2 long years you've kept my kids. No fucking visits, not even vids. With God in my corner and perseverance in my soul. I'm sorry if I come across a bit too bold. I am Vinny Torres. I'm here with the fight that you started. I prove to you all I never would fall. Now hear my day, the world will be given a brand new way to be unforgiven. They accuse me of heinous things. I'm the one who will bring the sting. For 2 long years you've kept my kids. No fucking visits, not even vids. With God in my corner and perseverance in my soul. I'm sorry if I come across a bit too bold. I am Vinny Torres. I'm here with a fight that you started. I prove to you all I never would fall. Now hear my demands. This is coming from a man who wants back his kids you kidnapped. Okay, law actors and fake agents, here we go. You forced my family apart and thought I'd turn away. You didn't do your homework on me, not in any way. My kids are my grounding, they're what I have that's pure. You took them from me, now the pain is yours for sure. My kids will come home, you all need to go T-pay jail. The cops that have harassed me locked them up with no bail. I'm talking the ones who had me assaulted. It didn't have to happen, but the Lion State Trooper wanted drama. So now she will see I'm Vinny T, and I serve you 1983 because I wanna. I am Vinny Torres. I'm here with a fight that you started. I'll prove to you all I never would fall. Now hear my demands. This is coming from a man who wants back his kids you kidnapped. Okay, law actors and fake agents, here we go. You took away time that I can't replace. How can you stand your own damn face? You lie for a job while writing fake reports. I don't ever want to see you in another court. You belong in a prison. Attorney General, I would listen. This GAL is so fucking crooked with her story. She needs to be locked up before more families tell the same story. It's not right what she does, even worse that you fucking listen. She must be doing something for you. The crime for that is motherfucking prison. Shall I say more or do I need to? The whole damn system has an ego. So now I put them in check with the noose on their neck. Treason is the worst, what else do you expect? I am